What is up, everyone? Hope you guys are having an amazing day. As usual, welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video, guys. We got some news about upcoming events for this weekend, plus champion rebalance. Yes, there are only two on the list, but we're gonna have a look to see what exactly are we getting in the menu. I actually haven't went over the changes because I want to see it live and give you my pure, honest reaction. Now, why would you want to summon this weekend? It's not mandatory. It really depends what plan you made, what events you're skipping, in what events you're taking part to go for the Tea Party Titan event to reach the 1000 points and claim the Cat's Gaze, okay? As simple as that. This relic is more important than a fusion champion. So if it means for you that you're going to have to break the bank to skip the next fusion to get this relic, 1,000,000% worth it, and I'm not even overreacting. We don't know if the next fusion is gonna be good. It might be the level of Newt, which is pretty hard to skip because it's an amazing fusion, but it might not be, which is more likely. And skipping this relic just to save for the next fusion that might be trash is basically shooting yourself in your own leg. This relic is absolutely freaking OP, okay? And every single player should do everything in their power to get it. Now, of course, as I mentioned, you don't necessarily need to summon in the weekend. We will have a summon rush, which will give us Titan points. It depends how you planned the entire event, what you're skipping, what you're not, etc. But I digress. So, on Friday, guys, we're going to have a 15x event. Basically from all of the shards, as you guys can probably notice. On top of it, we're gonna have a 2x event to summon epic and legendary champions from primal shards. No mythicals, only epics and legendaries. Like, who gives a damn about that? We want mythicals from primals, right? Now, the champions are actually pretty good. These events will last for 72 hours, guys. Both of them, the 2x on primals and the 15x on this. We actually have good champions. My most wanted, most likely, is either a Rotos, so I can empower. I don't have Calvalex. I kind of like gave up on Calvalex, to be honest, because I'm just not getting him, and I never really break the bank for him because he's a PvE champion. Coilte, the Ash Arrow, is actually a pretty interesting one as well, to be honest. I'm quickly going to walk you through it, and then we're going to talk about the champion rebalance. Starting with the very first champion, Coilte, right? Is a pretty good counter for Armans, a good counter to Nice, a good counter to Siegfried. And that's because he ignores unkillable and block damage. He's the right affinity, ignores defense. Versus Armans in Live Arena is much harder to use him because the enemy actually has control on what skills to use. But in Classic Arena, Armans most likely will try to drop your Thermitter. And as long as you are not using him in Stone Skin, bang, you're going to absolutely wipe Armans or the entire team, which will 100% be really, really helpful. So if you want to build this champion, either Savage plus Cruel, either Lethal, either Merciless. Maybe you're gonna have a 9-piece Merciless and go ham on a crazy build, right? But either way, he's definitely not a bad champion, so don't sleep on him if you have him. Then we have Thor, absolutely a monster, especially when we're talking about Hydra. Very good damage, very good AoEs, self-buffs. He was a fusion. A lot of you guys skipped him because he sucked, but he's absolutely amazing as a champion. Very good passive. You have some stuns in here as well. So, once again, Merciless set for him is going to be massive. I actually tried him on quite a few different sets. I actually compared quite a few different builds to see which one works the best. And the final conclusion, 6-piece or 9-piece Merciless is the way to go on this champion to basically maximize your damage. If not, Savage, Lethal, plus Cruel, plus crit damage, whatever you might have available. Moving on to the next one, we have Tranda. Tranda still broken in the Hydra. I'm not sure when they're going to fix it, if they are going to fix it, or they are gonna keep her as she is. In my opinion, they should have made this skill deal 200% damage to Stone Skin, or deal 100% more damage to a Stone Skin shield, rather than 200, because that might be too powerful. And try to make her a bit more PvP orientated than she is. So like this, nobody can complain about it. Nobody can complain that, oh my god, they killed Tranda, she sucks everywhere, she's not good in Hydra, I can't use her anywhere else. Because if you will give her that extra firepower for Arena, nobody will complain about them changing Tranda from Hydra, okay? But either way, that's the story. I know they're not happy with it. Now, I'm not sure what they will do to basically counter this. But either way, we're going to basically wait and see. Then, moving on to the next champion that we have on the list, guys. Calvalax. Still a freaking monster when we're talking about poisons. This passive is crazy. I would love to get one. Don't get me wrong. I would definitely love to get a Calvalax, but I'm probably going to put a 15x on Rotos because I want to empower mine to +2. That would be very nice as well. His enemy max HP damage kind of sucks, but other than that, he's great. If you pair him with Theodore, you can do some crazy things even in Arena with him and with other champions, maybe like a Theox or other combos. So he's definitely not a bad one. Then, as I mentioned, Rotos is my GOAT. That's probably the one that I'm going to put on the 15x. Very good damage. It will allow me to empower him to +2, which is massive because I'm going to gain more speed, more stats on him. And to be honest, I'm not really using Rotos much nowadays, but I would still prefer to empower him over getting a different champion. Or either way, he's a 15x. What am I talking about? Skratch, you're dreaming, you fool. Probably you're going to get another fusion from the past that nobody cares about because that's what we're usually getting. Then, moving on to the Void ones, guys. We have Acrisia, still the Queen, enemy max HP. Very good in the Chimera. Very good in some of the dungeons, especially progression-wise. Great in the Sand Devil. Great even in the Hydra, to be honest. So, she's not the most OP champion, but she's still very, very strong. All of the skills being enemy max HP. Either you build her on Relentless, either you build her on Savage or something like that, and start smacking enemies. Then we have Onryo Ieyasu. Thankfully, I already have this bad boy, so I don't have to sweat it. Great for the Hydra clan boss, great for PvP as well. He does a lot of funky things, ignores Stone Skin, Shield, Strengthen, blocks, Revive. Crazy good passive for the Hydra clan boss. He did lose quite a bit of value with the changes in the Hydra, but either way, he's still a very effective champion and still one of the top damage dealers for the Hydra clan boss. The main thing that I like about him is that his Void Affinity. So if I'm going to compare him with Toshiro, which is Magic Affinity, he will outdamage Toshiro, and purely based on the affinity, because no weak hits will occur at any time, right? Then we have Arnon the Shining. To be honest, if I am going to open Voids, I will put him on the 15x. Definitely pretty interesting. His damage is not the craziest damage, but the passive is nice. The rest of the skill pretty good. I wish he would have slightly higher multipliers, like a 0.5 extra on top of what he has, and that would literally make him really, really good, right? But I like that he places Stone Skin on himself, increases his attack, you know. Overall, a good champion for Live Arena. That's basically his main thing. Now, to be honest, I haven't really seen anyone using him in Live Arena, and that kind of like makes me wonder why, right? Like, is he that bad? A lot of people try to use him and he's just not delivering, or not enough people got him yet for me to notice him in Live Arena. Truth be told, I'm not doing much Live Arena recently, so it is what it is. Then we have Geomancer on the list, still one of the GOATs, one of the better epic damage dealers in the game, one of the best. We have Phoenix, solid damage from Phoenix, and it has been like this since the early days. The A1 is crazy. If you guys remember, 5 years ago, when I've put Phoenix on the map, showing you what he can do in Clan Boss and in other areas, well, he can still do that, and much better, because a lot of power creep happened since. Then we have Allure, absolutely amazing in the Fire Knight, amazing on the Dark Fae, amazing in Curse City in a lot of different areas, and it's all about the A1. You can build her for damage on some stages and just absolutely nuke enemies. That's something that I'm doing in the Curse City on a Soul Cross. Then we have Akemtum. I've heard a lot of you guys recently saying that you want an Akemtum. Personally, I'm not using him anywhere at all. Now, he's great for the Spider Den, because you can do some crazy things on a hard mode Spider with his passive poisons and other hacks. You can just boom, basically evaporate the boss. But yeah, he brings hacks, multi-hits, AoE, spreads, debuffs. So he's not a bad champion. I'm just not really using him in any of my teams for any content. And the last one is Skullcrown. still a good epic champion. Double AoE, good damage. The passive is nice. I have one built on stun and I have one built on savage, just to kind of like rotate them depending on what sort of content I'm doing. Then let's talk about the champion rebalance, ladies and gentlemen. So starting with Ultan of the Shell. Not gonna lie, I forgot his faction. Is he a demon spawn? I don't even think I have him. I don't have him, okay. I don't have him. So I don't care much about his buff, but hey, maybe a lot of you guys will. So basically, with his rebalance, they aim to enhance his self-preservation capabilities while providing more opportunities for crowd control. So with the A1, he will have an increased chance to apply defense down. With the A2, they basically enhance the boost healing after the cleanse. And he will unconditionally heal himself for 20% of his max HP. And then get an additional heal of the same value for each debuff removed by this skill. Also, the shield applied will now scale off his attack, further increasing in value for each debuff removed. With A3, Ultan will now land a decreased speed debuff, and when paired with Oela, will place a stun instead of sleep. Grant Ultan an extra turn and boosting his stir meter each time stun or sleep debuffs expire. With A1, under the skin. So basically, let me just quickly explain you what they changed. So the A1 will now have a 50% chance to land defense down. Nothing else changes here. So it's going to go from 30 to 50. With the A2, basically the champion will heal himself for 20% of the max HP and heals for an additional 20% of their max HP for each debuff removed. Then places a shield. The value of shield is proportional to this champion's attack. The value of shield also increases by 5% for each debuff removed. So that's basically what changed in here. With the A3, attacks all enemies, has a 100% chance to place a sleep debuff for 1 turn and a 30% decreased speed for 2 turns. If Oela is on the same team, will place a stun instead of the sleep debuff and ignores 50% of each target's resistance. If Oela is on the same team, and that's with a passive, so fills the champion's stir meter whenever a sleep or stun debuff placed by this skill expires. Okay, so that's actually still this one. Fills the turn meter when a sleep or stun debuff placed expires, and if Oela is on the same team, grants this champion an extra turn. So that's how the A3 skill changed. Sorry, a bit confusing there. So that's it for Ultan of the Shell. He's still going to suck. That's about it. Nothing changed here, guys. So forget about him. Let's move on to the next one because this might be a bit more interesting. At least I am hoping for it. Vlad the Nightborn guy. No, Konstantin the Dayborn will get a buff, not Vlad, sorry. So, let's see what exactly is changing. With the changes, they aim to sharpen Konstantin's offensive potential, making him an even deadlier threat. His A1 will have a chance to play defense down debuff, increasing the likelihood of triggering an extra hit, and it's unresistible when Vlad is on the same team. With A2, his A2 ignores 50% of each target's defense as a baseline, plus an additional 10 for each leech, decrease defense, or block active skills debuffs on the team. However, if the enemy is under all of these 3 debuffs simultaneously, Konstantin will ignore a massive 75% of their defense if they have leech, defense down, and block active skills. That's interesting. How is it going to be played out in the Chimera, huh? Might be good, or it might not, because block active skills only works on the Viper form, right? Either way, the A3, for the A3, the buff steal and debuff transfer effects become irresistible when Vlad Nightborn is on the same team. Additionally, its cooldown resets upon securing a skill. And the aura got boosted to 35% attack in arena from 30%. So that's about it, guys. With the A1, now he has a 60% chance to land the defense down. If Vlad is on the same team, this will not get resisted. With the A2, I've already explained you the drill. Each hit will ignore 15% of the target's defense as a baseline, so that will increase a little bit. And then if each hit will increase for an additional 10% for each debuff, like leech, defense down, or block active skills. And if all three of them are together, he will ignore 75% of the target's defense. And with this one, will basically not get resisted when Vlad is on the same team. That's about it, guys. That's pretty much everything for the champion rebalance, the summoning events. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Constantine does seem a bit better now. I will definitely try him out, but Ultan the Shell, still weak sauce. Much love, appreciate all of you guys watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.